Welcome to Dodgers Daily Down on the Farm. So glad that you decided to tune in to all the prospect action in the system from last night and then also Monday for Tulsa. Tulsa actually played a special Memorial Day game at home in front of a packed crowd at One Oak. But we're going to start with last night's action in Sugar Land, Texas, which is a suburb of Houston, the AAA affiliate of the Houston Astros. And the Oklahoma City Comets just absolutely put a pop knot on the head of the Space Cowboys. Got to love that name, Space Cowboys, for the Sugar Land Space Cowboys, the AAA affiliates of the Astros. James Tibbs III, awesome first third part of the season of 2026, if you will. 316. Tibbs III hit a home run last night. First home run in a while for him. We'll get to that here in a minute. But 316 batting average for James Tibbs III. OPS is 1028. 12 home runs on the year. That's tied for the Pacific Coast League in home runs, despite the fact that coming into last night, James Tibbs III had not hit a home run in his last 21 games. Not 21 at bats, 21 games. James Tibbs III had not hit a home run, and he still leads, or is tied for the lead in home runs with 12, and also has a batting average of 316, and also has an OPS of 1028. Just absolutely an awesome, great hitter that also has power as well. So James Tibbs III, good night last night for him. It was a lot of fun to see him finally get back on the board in terms of hitting home runs. That just goes to show he's not trying to hit home runs. He's trying to be a great hitter, and the home runs just come because of that. Speaking of a young man that has pop and a lot of power, had a chance to speak with Tyler Fitzgerald last week, released that interview over the weekend. Young man who played shortstop for the Giants 2 years ago, has been a Dodgers killer, if you will, in the past. No doubt about that. So we know all about Tyler Fitzgerald. The thing about him is he had a pretty good 2024. He had really good stretches. We saw that as a Dodgers fan, right? And then also, he has very respectable numbers at the major league level. He's like in the 250-ish range, something like that. His OP, I mean, his WRC plus is somewhere right around average. And so to get DFA'd by the Giants and then eventually traded to Toronto for cash, and then DFA'd again by Toronto, and then traded again for cash again to the Dodgers, that could be, if you're Tyler Fitzgerald, you're 28 years old, you played in 2 College World Series at Louisville, you've had a pretty successful major league career, you could take that as a slap in the face. And there's a couple of ways to look at this. Take it as a slap in the face and just kind of pout and whine and moan about it and complain, which nobody would care, by the way. Nobody cares about your problems at this level. This is a dog-eat-dog world. Or you can do what he did, put all of your gloves in your bag, go to your new organization, and tell them you will do whatever you have to do, whenever, play whatever position, and just dedicate yourself to helping your new organization to the point to where, they want you and they value you, and you get back up on the horse again. Definitely, Tyler Fitzgerald has taken the second route there. He has put every glove in his bag. He is working, he's fighting, he's scratching, and he's clawing to regain a second chance at a major league career. So congratulations to him. Much respect for guys that did that treat situations that aren't perfect like a pro. And this situation was perfect. How about Noah Miller? Matter of fact, between Tulsa on Monday night and then actually last night in the system alone, you had 3 grand slams. You had a grand slam at East Level. You had a grand slam from Noah Miller here. You also had a grand slam from Emil Morales as well at Great Lakes. So we've always talked about the defense from Noah Miller. How about the batting, the hitting side of it? 277, OPS 824. This version of Noah Miller, his WRC plus is 110. So he's been 10% above league average. Okay. This version of Noah Miller is not a good prospect. He is an elite prospect at this point. The defense has always been elite. Now the offense is 10% above league average. Not going to blow smoke. I don't know where he fits in at the major league level with the Dodgers. Of course, you have Mookie for a long time. Mookie figured it out last night. We saw that. That was great to see. That dead center field home run. He's been playing great shortstop, a defense at the shortstop position. Yes, on Kim, the Dodgers have committed to him. Alex Freeland's done well at the AAA level as well. They gave Freeland the nod over Noah Miller to begin with. So I don't know where exactly Noah Miller, I don't know where he fits in to this entire organization with the Dodgers. All I know is in terms of what he can take care of, he is definitely doing that. So Noah Miller is turning himself into one whale of a prospect at the AAA level here. So keep your eyes out for him. And another young man that has turned in a couple of really, really fantastic outings lately. Christian Romero again last night in Sugar Land. 5 innings, 3 hits, 1 run, 6 strikeouts, 2 walks. Strike throwing wasn't incredible last night, but he made great pitch after great pitch. Every time Sugar Land put a threat together, he made a pitch to end their momentum. Fastball set 93.6, 5-pitch mix. Here's the deal. Christian Romero, 71% first pitch strikes. We've talked about that being a buzzword in the organization. There's Tyler Fitzgerald making a play. 71% of the time, he threw strike 1 last night. And when you have a 5-pitch mix, you see a little cutter there, a 5-pitch mix, a fastball, cutter, slider, change, and curve. Whenever you're always ahead in the count, you are going to control sequences. You're going to control counts. The hitter is never going to know what's coming. And because of that, you're going to keep him off balance, and you're going to do that right there all night, which is great. Weak contact. So that 71% first strike rate for Christian Romero allowed him to control the entire game last night. So congratulations to him. Second tremendous outing in a row for him. Christian Romero really appears to be turning a corner at AAA Oklahoma City. So exciting to see. He has that baby face to him, and we've seen him struggle before, so it's exciting for me to see that. And here is a young man, from Christian Romero with no major league experience, who has the baby face, to the wily, grizzled veteran, Keenan Middleton. This is a look from him behind home plate. This is not edited. This is every pitch that I had from him that I took video of to give you a good look. I'm not going to sugarcoat you. This wasn't a great outing from Keenan Middleton, but I did want to show you the video from behind home plate, just so you can see what he looks like from behind home plate and get a good look at his stuff. But hey, 3.72 ERA for Middleton, which in the Pacific Coast League, which is a very hitter-friendly league, that's actually pretty good. Okay, and remember, he signed as a free agent last year. He was with the Cardinals in 2024 and 2025. He's been with the Yankees, the White Sox, the D-backs, the Mariners, and Angels. Plenty of major league experience. As a matter of fact, 194.1 major league innings, 199 strikeouts in those 194.1 innings, 3.84 ERA at the major league level for Keenan Middleton. Now, right now, his stuff isn't very explosive. I'm just not going to sugarcoat that at all. His fastball is about 91.5, which is about 4 ticks down. He needs to be, there's a nice little cutter / slider. He needs to be in the 94 to 95 range, okay? So his fastball, his stuff overall is a little bit down right now. So I don't think he's imminent to the major leagues, but I wanted to show you the good performance that he had last night and just kind of get you introduced to the fact that Keenan Middleton definitely is in the Dodgers organization and he's fighting to get back in the major leagues. Josue DePaula, as we move to the AA Tulsa Drillers on Monday night in front of a huge Memorial Day crowd at One Oak, had 2 hits for the Drillers, 13th double of the season. That 13 doubles ties him for the most amount of doubles of any player in the Texas League, which for a 21-year-old, he just turned 21 on the 24th of May. That's fantastic. He also has 40 RBIs. That's second most in the Texas League. He has 32 walks, which is the most of any player in the Texas League. He's hitting .302. His on-base percentage is .414, and his OPS is .899. So between his .302 average, his .414 on-base percentage, and his .899 OPS, those are all fifth best of any player in the league. So for a 21-year-old, that is absolutely incredible production that you're getting from Josue DePaula. He has shown, that transition to Double A. He's had a couple of minor down periods, but he's bounced right back. So everything that you would like to see in what some people have as their number one prospect in the system. And another young man that's not necessarily highly ranked, super talented defensive player, a young man that has here's a grand slam here. So Sean McClain, a grand slam as well. So we had all these grand slams in the system. It was fun. Sean McClain got off to a very slow start. Very slow start. As a matter of fact, on April 18th, he was hitting a .118. Since then, he's hitting close to 300. In his last 29 at-bats, he has 12 hits, which is a .413 average over his last 8 games. So Sean McClain, kind of like Noah Miller, excellent defensively. If he can add the offense, then he becomes a great prospect, no doubt about that. So I wanted to show you the excellent work of Sean McClain. And then how about an update on one Mr. Zaire Hope? Joe Vitrano also hit a dead center home run as well, and he's been playing very well as of late. Griffin Lockwood Powell Locke also had a couple of hits last night or Monday night as well for the Double-A Tulsa Drillers, and he is hitting right around 300. So a great job from Griffin Lockwood Powell as well. But I want to give you an update on Zaire Hope. Zaire Hope on Monday had 2 hits for the Double-A Tulsa Drillers. 7th double. Hey, that came off of, as you're seeing there, Tommy Molsky. Tommy Molsky led Oklahoma State 2 years ago to hosting regionals. The Oklahoma State Cowboys actually lost that regional to Florida and Jack Caglione. Very difficult on the if game there. OSU won the winners bracket game, then got beat twice by Florida at home. It's a bug in my side, no doubt about it. Okay, so we talked about Zaire Hope, all the home runs, and then all the strikeouts, the bridges in between, the base hits up the middle. Okay, that right there, that's what you want to see from Zaire Hope. That's going to give you all the bridges between the strikeouts and the walks. So good to see him hitting the ball up the middle and gathering his base hits. So it's not just, hey, we hit a home run, then we strike out. Then we hit a home run, we strike out. There's something in between that for Zaire Hope. You got to see that right there on that base hit up the middle. And then here is Kelvin Ramirez. This is a guy, big arm. Again, big dude. You can see that with your own eyes. He approaches 100 miles an hour. Very impressive Monday for Double-A Tulsa. 2.1 innings pitched, 2 home runs, no runs given up, 4 strikeouts, 1 walk. Okay, really crazy start to the game. Tulsa scored 1 million runs. Northwest Arkansas scored 1 million runs. So it's like literally the first team that has a reliever that can come in and throw up a 0 or 2 is going to win the game. That reliever was Kelvin Ramirez. Came in and stabilized the game for Double-A Tulsa. And how about this? Kelvin Ramirez, ERA down to 2.01, 25 strikeouts in 22.1 innings. And he has posted 12 scoreless outings of his 6 innings thrown this year. So Kelvin Ramirez, fantastic job. And hey, a guy that's a good friend of ours and has major league experience. We know all about Nick Robertson. Nick Robertson went scoreless. Again, if I can get his video up here. Nick Robertson went scoreless again in his outing, and now Nick Robertson has 14 outings on the season, has yet to give up a run. I don't have any clue why Nick Robertson is still at Double-A Tulsa. I don't know what the deal is going on there, but he is way better than that, has yet to give up a run. Of course, all you can do, kind of like we talked about with Noah Miller, if you don't know where he fits in the organization, all you can do is just keep doing what you're supposed to do. And definitely Nick Robertson's doing that, going scoreless in all 14 of his outings this year. And Emil Morales, who got promoted as we go to the high A level with Great Lakes, who got promoted last week, got off to a really slow start. It's kind of predictable. You go from LA, or not LA, but the California scene to the Midwest League, which is a million miles away. It's colder. It's a different environment. You get off to a slow start. So what? Okay, that was my point on Eduardo Quintero too. Well, how about this hey, welcome Emil Morales to the Midwest League. Welcome Emil Morales to Great Lakes. I mean, last night a grand slam, 3 hits, 2 home runs. Okay, all 3 affiliates, all the 3 highest affiliates, all had grand slams last night. You had they're in their last game. Noah Miller for AAA Oklahoma City. Sean McClain had the grand slam for Tulsa. Emil Morales had a grand slam for Great Lakes. Kellen Lindsay beat out a bunt base hit for Ontario and went sub-4. We're going to get into that here in a minute. Chase Harlan hit an opposite field home run. Last night was one of the funnest nights you will ever have in the Dodgers system. There's been a lot of them. Last night was definitely one of the funnest I've been associated with. No doubt about that. So 2 home runs last night for Emil Morales. Grand slam that you just saw. And so the dam is broke for Emil. We'll see, how he takes advantage of that and how he gets adjusted to the Midwest League and at the high A level, and how he goes about his business there, because he was just absolutely dominant at the single A level with the Ontario Tower Buzzers. No doubt about that. He was too good for that level. And also, I think by him going up, I think that's going to relax Joandry Vargas. I think that's why Vargas has been playing a lot better lately. He had a couple of hits last night, and a young man that seems like he always gets a couple of hits. How about first pitch of your game? Your leadoff hitter just steps up to the plate and just bangs one into center field. There's a certain amount of baseball etiquette to where when your leadoff hitter just steps up and hits the first pitch of the game into center field, like the perfect hit, it's like, okay, boys, we're ready to go. We're going to kick some ass tonight. And that's exactly what the Great Lakes Loons did. I mean, he had 2 hits on the night. I can just tell you, Charles Davlin, one of my favorite. I mean, he has that 90s stroke to him. See how he stays over the ball, turns the barrel down to the ball, subtle movements, head stays still, he stays centered. Just watch his eyes, watch his head. Look how he tracks the ball. See how he stayed over that ball, turned the barrel down to that ball, didn't commit until he knew exactly where to put the barrel, and then was talented enough to buggy whip with the top hand. Hey, Mookie Betts, watch that. That's how Mookie Betts needs to swing the bat right there. I'm telling you, with that top hand whip, that buggy whip, the way that he stays back on it, I'm telling you, Mookie Betts, right there, that hit right there, Mookie Betts can hit just like that, well over 300 at the major league level. I know I'm kind of talking out my ass here. I don't care. I'm convicted of that. I love this style of hitting. This is not old school hitting. This is not new school hitting. This style of hitting where you stay over the ball, subtly turning the barrel down to the plane of the pitch, this will, keeping your head still, keeping centered, keeping balanced. This style will never go out of style, hitting line drives all over the field. So I wanted to bring you up to date on Charles Davlin and what he's doing. I also wanted to draw your attention to Cole Myers. I don't have any specific information on this, but I'm assuming when Mike Sirota went up to Double-A, Cole Myers was the casualty. He's the one that got sent down from Double-A Tulsa to High A Great Lakes. That sucks. So it would be real easy to sit around and go, this really sucks being back at Great Lakes. Not that Great Lakes isn't a great place to play, especially as it's getting warmer this time of year. It becomes a great place to play. No doubt about that. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is just getting demoted like that. Now, I don't know if it actually was a demotion or what exactly happened. I'm putting 2 and 2 together to see that Sirota got, at the same time Sirota got promoted, Myers got demoted down or sent down to Great Lakes. So I think that's what happened. That being the case, Cole Myers has not complained about it. He has not bellyached and moaned about it. Matter of fact, He has done very well in his 3 games, and just a matter of fact, I think he has what in his 3 games. Let me actually look this up and to get the exact amount of hits here. He is 6 for 11 in his 3 games. So great job, Cole Myers, continuing to grind. All you can do is control what you can control. He has definitely done that. Continue to grind. You'll be back up, and you'll be better for it. And then also, whenever you take a situation like this and you turn it into motivation and you do well with it, that shows every organization in baseball that you're willing to grind. You're willing to do whatever the organization needs you to do. Sterling Patick turned in his latest and greatest outing. Actually, to be honest with you, I loved this outing. Not because it was perfect, but because it was anything but perfect. So the sequence you're showing here, he actually got the bases loaded with 1 out in the first inning. And then how about this? So for a 20-year-old who had the bases loaded, no outs, first inning, he led the hitter off with no outs and the bases loaded off with a changeup for strike 1. Okay, and the entire sequence that you're seeing with the bases loaded, nobody out, changeup, fastball, slider, back-to-back curveballs. For a 20-year-old to throw that sequence with the bases loaded and just 1 out in the first inning, wow, actually, I don't think you're seeing that. This is the sequence here. Bases loaded, you see there's 1 out, okay, right there, okay, changeup. Here you're getting ready to see a fastball, okay, then you're getting ready to see a slider right here, and then right there, and then you're getting ready to see back-to-back curveballs. 1, okay, for a ball. Now we're 2-2. Don't want to go any further. Don't want to go 3-2. How about that for a bomb? Sterling Patick, well done, young man. This was a trust tree game for me, not because things went perfect, but because they didn't. And he showed that even under stress, under duress, in the crisis moments, he was able to sequence his way and execute his way out of crisis moments. We know that when things are perfect for Patick, his velo got down into the 80s last night. So nothing was perfect for him. He still found a way last night to go 4.1 innings, scoreless, 4.1 innings, 6 hits. He gave up 2 walks too, okay? So 2 walks and 6 hits. That's 8 right there, and 4. That's 2 per inning, 4.1 innings, and still gave up no runs on 4 strikeouts. And I'm telling you, the stuff wasn't popping last night. He was in the high 80s, low 90s all night long, and just simply found a way to have a great outing last night. Joendry Vargas mentioned, I think he's relaxed now that Emil Morales has gone up to high A Great Lakes. Emil Morales, Joendry Vargas sometimes are thrown into the same basket in terms of big-time shortstop prospects, that kind of deal. And Morales was absolutely killing it, so that was somewhat of a it's competition, so you got to, whoever's the best, the cream has to rise. But I do think now him and Kellen Lindsey will split time at shortstop. I think he'll kind of feel like now he's the dude out of that situation. I think that will relax him, and I think that's why he's been playing a lot better offense. Plus, he's healthy, and he's getting back into a groove. So Joendry Vargas is 17 for his last 41. That's a .414 batting average. 3 doubles, 7 RBIs in his last 41 at-bats. So great job, Joendry Vargas. And then if you remember on, I think it was yesterday's show, maybe the day before that, I promised you, because we had Kellen Lindsey at about I think we had him at a 4-2 to first base on a check swing. Okay, try this one out. Bunt base hit right here. Great bunt. This is a 3-8-7. 3-8-7 to first base. That's not good speed. That is 80 grade major league elite speed to first base on a 3-8-7 for Kellen Lindsey to first base. Again, elite. That is Kendall George type speed, okay, from the right side. Kendall George a lot of times is 3-7-7 from the left side. This is a 3-8-7 from the right side. I want to see Kellen Lindsey and Kendall George race because I'm not sure who is faster. I'm not sure Kenny George from the right side could register any better than a 3-8-7 on that bunt. That's how fast Kellen Lindsey is. I wanted to show you that 80 grade speed. Super exciting. And then, you have this bunt base hit. You had the sub 4 to first base for Kellen Lindsey. Then you got to see Ching Shin Ko hit, which I don't even know what he did in his at bat. But then what you got to see about 5 minutes later, one hitter later, was an opposite field home run from Chase Harlan. That was 5 minutes of absolute awesomeness if you're an Ontario fan. I'm still pumped about it if you can't tell. What an amazing sequence that we got to see in Ontario. The 3-8-7 to first base on the bunt base hit. The opposite field home run for Chase Harlan. You got to see Emil Morales get 3 hits, including 2 home runs, a grand slam. You got to see Sean McLean hit a grand slam. Zaire Hope get a couple of base hits. Josue DePaula hit his league-leading 12th double of the season. Grand slam from Noah Miller. Tyler Fitzgerald played really well. Sterling Patick, you got to see him really grind and compete his way to a really nice outing. You got to see great relief work from several different pitchers, anywhere from Keenan Middleton, who is a major league, has a lot of major league experience, to Kelvin Ramirez, who doesn't, to Nick Robertson, who does, but is kind of in the middle. You got to see Ronaldo Yeen throw a really nice inning. You got to see Noah Miller hit a grand slam last night. What a night it was in the system for the Dodgers last night. I'm not sure I've ever been involved in a more entertaining night in terms of the action down on the farm, so I hope you enjoyed the show today. So, hey, we're going to get into all the Dodger stuff. Welcome back, Mookie, Freddie, all that tonight. Austin and I are going to go live while I am in Tulsa, so look for a show tonight. Turn on your notifications. But until then, thank you so much for tuning in, and as always, it's a great day to be a Dodger.